Good morning, my invisible friends. It's day 5, lettering, and I started without you because I wanted to see if this was going to work. I found in my stash this very old set of Letraset instant lettering, 1986, and I wasn't sure it was going to work, but it worked really nicely. So I used that. Thought I'd just actually play with this and see if this works. Here I just used the end of a biro to do this. I'm not even sure if this scratches off, but it looks like it might be. Oh. Lost the top of England. Look at that. Isn't that fun? So there you go. Still good all these years later. For this one, I used, and I did this off camera because it's so fiddly. It's this cute little Pixie Curls alphabet set that I've probably had for about as long as I've had that lettering set. And I just, here we go. See how I did it off camera? It's so fiddly. You can line them up like that, stamp them in the ink, and then stamp them on the page and write away to your heart's content. But I thought what I'd do for the other page is an old favourite, and I'll probably speed this up. But when I think of lettering, as well as thinking of calligraphy and, writing letters and sign writing and all the things that we think of with letters, I often think of ransom notes because I think this is one of the quirkiest uses of letters. A lot of these are shiny, which is why I'm using the art glitter. I'm not even sure that this curly one's going to stick, but that's probably in keeping with the nature of a ransom note, that things might fall off, right? Can you guess what this note is? I thought, I'm not going to hold myself to ransom, but I'm going to remind myself of this because I think going out and buying things, every time you watch something on YouTube or, see somebody doing something cool, you think, oh, if only I had that colour, that stamp, that paper, whatever. If only I had that, maybe I'd be able to make things as cool as they do. And I think this is exacerbated by the way that people do actually tell you all the details. So they'll write down. They'll hold up to camera the stamp set or the whatever, and they'll say, oh, this is made by so-and-so, and it's this, that, and the other. And maybe it's from living in Australia or not having an endless budget for supplies. Things are expensive over here, so the things that we watch American people use with such careless joy, it's wonderful, but we can't do that. Like if I buy golden paints, for example, I hoard them. I don't use them, and when I do use them, I use them very carefully and sparingly. And the same with oxides and, all the things that we play with. We're very tight. Anyway, what I wanted to remind myself of is this. Use what you have. We already have so much stuff in the house. It's really not necessary to go out and buy everything. So that's day 5. I'm almost caught up. Day 6 is wildlife. Whoops. Oh no, look. Haven't caught up on my thing. So what was that? Lettering. Day 6, wildlife. I found this really difficult. I don't know why. Sometimes you just have a mental block. The centre page of each of these signatures is like this. It's a colouring in book, but it's not particularly nice. It's just thick paper. It's not good for watercolour or anything wet. And I didn't like how white it was, so I've glued a bit of dressmaking pattern to it. Oops, and now I'll just tear off that excess bit I forgot. Nothing wrong with a little torn edge. I like it a little bit better, but not a whole lot. And wildlife, I was wondering what could I show as wildlife. We have a lot of brush turkeys. We have a lot of kookaburras who like to swim in the pool. We have bandicoots. I think that's a bandicoot. I might be wrong. Cockatoos. Lorikeets. We even had a quoll once. But probably my favourites at the moment, because of recent sightings, is the wallaby. I love these little creatures, and the last few mornings when I get up and I come in the sunroom to stretch, there's a wallaby down below on the flat just grazing, and she's gotten used to me. I'm assuming it's a she. She's gotten used to me, and the first morning she disappeared. But since then, she just keeps grazing. And actually, the brush turkey frightened her away last time. I think she needs something to sit on, so I'm going to give her a little base here. And this beautiful creature, this is a powerful owl. They're very large enough to catch and eat possums. And they have a haunting sound. And we get them a lot. They sit in the angle for a tree down below. So I thought, you know what? When you're having a bit of a mental block, keep it simple. So I've just knocked out the nasty white background. Sort of still shows houses and things here, which is, it works, houses and roads, because we are not in the country. But we do back onto a national park, which is why we have so much lovely wildlife. So I'm just going to bed these down here, and then this is just leaving myself a whole lot of writing space. For when I come back and work in this, probably reminding myself about all the boo-boos I made while filming, or not filming as the case may be. This is just the margin of a book page, really nice old vintage paper. Actually, no, it's not. That's the edge of the watercolour I did on Dad's paper. The wallaby and the powerful owl images were from an old, some sort of heritage diary that we found at the op shop that nobody had ever done anything in. And these beautiful reproductions of early illustrations. That might need art glitter. I don't think that's going to enjoy sitting on that crunkled tissue. So we get the big guns out. We'll do powwow with art glitter instead. So see this yellow lined paper has been in every journal we've made last year, trying to use up the diary. And you know, the silly thing is, I cut all these images out when I first found the diary, and I think this is the first time I've used any of them. And this is what I bought it for. So that is reminding me of this. Use what you have. Use what you love. That's what I could have written. How often do we hoard the good stuff? The stuff that really makes us happy. It's like, you know, put it in your journal. You're going to keep it. It's still going to be yours, but you're going to be able to enjoy it more. So there's my very simple spread for my, oops. Oh my goodness, getting that pin in. God. Okay, my very simple spread for wildlife, which I can come back into now and Right on. Which brings us to day 7, which is in fact what day it is. Woohoo! And day 7, if I'm not mistaken, I seem to have lost my thing. Pretty sure it was window. It's so difficult working to somebody else's prompts. Well, at least I find it very difficult. But I thought for this one, pardon me, what it reminded me of is all I've been cleaning up stuff out of Dad's study, and I just want to show you what I'm faced with. So here is one very small box filled with samples of what he left behind. I don't know if you can see that. These are electron microscope slides of air particles for the most part, I think. And they're fantastic. And I don't want to throw them out, and they're all in their own little cellophane sleeves. And there's like thousands upon thousands of these interesting, they look like disease-carrying things. So we got like so many of those. And then we have so many of these lovely old made in Japan slide boxes, which, you know, they're really nice, but they're filled with slides. And again, I'm not going to pull them all out, but you see what I'm faced with. There's probably about, I don't know, 30 of these. So many slides. And it occurred to me that actually a slide looks rather like a window. So I thought, okay, I'm going to use some of those. And I was thinking, if I put them in on the page, the sun's gone now, but when the sun was shining through here, it reflected the slide onto the white paper, which was rather nice. So I'm thinking I might take, this one looks like it's pretty. It's got clouds. He was in a light aircraft, seeding clouds, rain-making experiments back in the 70s. So I thought I might just hinge that, and then when the sun does shine through, it'll cast a little reflection through this window. But then it occurred to me to go and grab just one of the many tubs that are filled with, okay, so this is more electron microscopy with nice vintage tape and writing. I mean, these are treasures, right? If you're a junk journaler, you've got to keep them. And then look, all these strips of all these slide negatives, is that what they are? I'm not sure. And then, this is what his secretaries had to do, put them all in beautiful little glassine bags with an image on the front, and then inside the actual strip of negative. Again, look at all these little windows. Little windows along here. These look like little windows. Everything looks like little windows. So I thought, why not? Talk about use what you have. This is just one box, one enormous box of many that we just, I don't know, Q's used a few things. I've been reluctant to, but I think I'm at the point now where use what you have, right? And boy, do I have a lot of this stuff. Okay, so we're going to hinge. Actually, I thought maybe I might, still recording, I think I might pop some of these across the front. I'm not even sure if they're going to glue, but we'll give it a go. If I can find my scissors. I love this one. It looks like, we used to, when he'd show us things when we were kids, and go, look, there's a little person, you captured a little person. So I think I want to take it pretty much right across. Possibly going to need double-sided tape, but hey, let's try out glitter. It's not like I don't have 30,000 other things to use if this doesn't work. Oops. Very shiny, of course, because they're on acetate, but we'll see. Now I have to choose something to hinge that with from my box of scraps. My little tiny box of scraps that I brought in here. That might do. Looks nicely vintage. I think that's going to work. Wow, look at that. Cool. Okay. So we'll pop this other half here. Safety film. Oh, I need to put it on this way because it's curling that way. I want to work with the curl instead of fighting it. Let's put the glue on, oops, on this time. See, now I've been putting off using these. I don't know why. I guess when you lose someone, you want to cling on to everything. But now that I am using them, a bit like watercolouring on all his old scientific reprints, once you start using it, it just feels so much better than hoarding it. Surprise, surprise. Okay, now this is really nicely vintage, but I'm thinking, I'm going to just touch the edges up a bit more. I mean, look, it's vintage, 1971. Oh, 17th of July. Almost the same day. Okay, now if I cut that to size. Yeah, I kind of like that this little bit of paper says 73 on it. Close. And then want a small, oops. It always does my head in a bit, but I think I want to put that one there. Oh, look, and you'll see the 73. Cool. I'm just going to cut that bit off there. All right. I know what I'm doing. Pretty sure. Whee. I've been watching too much Julie. A very faint wee. Okay, pop that one there. Like that. And then this one, don't you love hinging? It just allows you to keep the image and create more interactive elements in a journal. And use up scraps. Very important. Okay, there we go. Look at that. Ta-da! I got a little opening window. And I did shoot this while the sun was coming in, so when you look at it on a sunny morning. And then for this page, I thought, why not? I'm on a roll, I'm using all the things, let's use some more. So look at these. Aren't these cool? I'm going to say these are ice crystals, but what do I know? And I thought we've kind of got, oh, look at me being brave, cutting into the family heirlooms. Look at that. Looks like windows, right? Or bricks, or something. Could make a little house. Oh, robot legs. Maybe I'm going to cut them like this. them all up. Oh, look, we've got a different one here. Can hear the cat complaining out there. Ooh. More little windows. I think I'm going to glue those down there as well and call that day 7. Woohoo! I do have a question for people though. What the hell do you do with slides? So in all those slides there are these ones which are the cardboard edges. Then there are these ones. Oh look, I think that's going to clip out. Oh no, it just opens up. Silly, isn't it? I'm so reluctant to break it, but I have so many others. Go, Benel. You can do it. Dad won't mind. Oh, don't know. Ah, look at that. Now there's a window. Oh, guess what I'm going to be doing? Pulling apart all of those. They're cool. Maybe we'll stick this one in here as a reminder. Oh, look. There we go. Not that you can see the blue sky. Then there's this sort. I'm going to have to get my glasses on to see how this one works. Anyway, stay tuned. We're going to be using old science and slides. And if anybody has any brilliant ideas they'd like to try with them, just let me know. I have plenty I can share. All right, see you for day 8 tomorrow. Bye for now.